It's a small price to pay, Preceptor.
Howdy, welcome to another Transformers review. Taking a look at Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise RC. RC has had quite a few incarnations since Transformers the movie, but for people who grew up on Transformers the movie, you know how long it took for that first RC to come out, and that kind of opened the floodgates. There's been a number of awesome looking RC Transformers. The one I've been using for the longest time up on my movie shelf is the Takara Legends RC, which is a more screen accurate repaint of the Generations RC, I think. Not bad looking. Goes really nice with the G1 bots. More articulated than those, but still the right size, right scale. And hey, for Transformers, whenever you can get something in the right scale, that's a huge win. But this one, I think just in the package, haven't opened it up yet, looks better. And that's the big thing I want to do today, is compare it with that Legends RC to see how it looks, and maybe I'll be replacing that one on the shelf with this one. This one was $10. Unbelievable sale at Walmart one day. I just walked in one day and a whole bunch of Earthrise were on sale for $10. So sometimes it pays off when you don't jump on all those pre-orders. If you just go out in the wild, find them on sale. I just checked Big Bad Toy Store, and this particular Earthrise version is sold out there at the moment. But they do have the Kingdom version, which is the exact same thing, except in a different box. They've also got the Thrilling 30 version, the Masterpiece one. Lots of RC there available. You can click on the links in the bio there if you're looking to get one. I always like to check BBTS to see if some of the things I'm reviewing are available there, because I get a lot of people asking for some of the items, where do I get it? And I really don't like telling people eBay, because that can hurt the wallet sometime. But whenever you can find these things at Big Bad Toy Store, they're usually for a great price. Sometimes they're on sale, and packing is great too. Just a tip of the hat to Big Bad Toy Store. They have done an amazing job during this past year. Under the circumstances, I think they've done an amazing job, and I just wanted to give them some appreciation for everything they do. A little bit of custom artwork on the side. Looks right out of the movie. Almost looks like a Studio Series Transformer. And for the folks who like that ASMR stuff, enjoy the virtual unboxing of RC. Just something in here, red tech specs, so you can decode the secret info that's in the back there. And there's RC in the package. Is this a clear looking gun? It almost looks translucent. Pop that out there. Yeah, it's kind of translucent. It really picks the light up quite nicely. Kind of looks like RoboCop's gun. The Auto 9, almost. It's a very pistol-looking weapon. Most Transformers guns just look like sci-fi blasters, but this one actually looks like an actual Earth pistol. And first impressions, very similar to the Generations or Legends RC. Super articulated. This thing is more like a Marvel Legends figure, like a female Marvel Legends figure, or G.I. Joe than a Transformer. Just comes with the thinness of the body. Most Transformers are male, and they're all bulky, but this one, look at the range. That's unbelievable. You get one of those soccer kick type of poses. Doesn't have an ankle pivot. That's interesting, because almost every new Transformer has an ankle pivot. Not this one, which means you're going to have to compensate with a little more hip range if you want to get her to stand on one foot. Kind of loose joints. Yeah, very loose joints. She's not strong enough to hold herself up. But as long as 2 feet are on the ground, I don't think she should have too much trouble. There's not much tightness in the heel either. That's what's supposed to stop her from falling back. Hey, did anybody notice the backpack? I kid. Man, I don't mind backpacks. I've said that over and over again. And on Unicron, I actually love the backpack on the big guy. there's an exception to every rule. So this is a very svelte, slender figure, female figure. And this is a bigger backpack than anyone has. I can't think of a Transformer. I'm just looking over at my Masterpiece shelf. Huffer? I don't think Huffer's backpack is even as big as this. That doesn't really work. To just have like a more lithe looking, thinner figure and then this giant car on her back, it's basically the whole car is back there. So I think I'll bring out the other one, the Legends one, for side-by-side comparison, but I think the Legends one handled that better. This is a really weird gun. The translucentness of it. I'm still not sure why it's this color, but it's very unique. You can get some really nice posing with it, as long as you can position the legs in the right way. It's a tricky one to tighten the joints up. This is always an issue for me when I'm trying to get crazy glue or nail polish, clear nail polish in joints like that and like that, just like these pin style joints. So I guess it can be done, but I think it's going to be pretty messy. So that's kind of unfortunate that this figure has so much range but so little stability in it. And as far as the articulation goes, head can do a full 360. It's one of the stiffest joints on the figure. Go figure. The one that doesn't really need to be all that stiff is incredibly stiff. No up or down there. Shoulders are amazing. Look at that. Can't even really do that in real life, but she doesn't get in her own way unless she hits the backpack. But incredible shoulders. Like I said, more like Marvel Legends. Even more posable than Marvel Legends. Look at this cross-armed pose. That's incredible. I can't think of any Transformer that's been able to do that. In addition to the swivel bicep, the great elbow. It's not 100%, but kind of glad it isn't, because that's more of a realistic joint. This wrist joint goes in and out. That's fantastic. So if you're doing the cross-arm pose, instead of just doing it like that, you can actually push this hand more in so she's holding like her hips more to make it more realistic. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on the cross-arm pose. It's a cool thing you can do with her that I've never seen any other Transformer really able to do. How about that? Splits. She is not able to do the splits as well as Unicron or Scorponok. That's odd. Gets in her own way a little bit here. The thighs, when she's trying to kick forward. The thigh is hitting in there. Knee is fantastic, double jointed knee. Total Marvel Legends or Spider-Man Classics style of knee. And then the foot it's too much. It goes back. It looks like she's wearing slippers. They're really weird with this extra elongated heel on here. Weird design. Capable of a lot of cool poses. You can definitely do the Shawn Michaels. Oh, the wrists don't actually have a swivel. They go up and down like this, but they don't turn. So you can't turn it the right way. But you can still, I mean, that's still really impressive. Anytime you can get any robot or Transformer to be able to do that, it's pretty impressive. So that is RC's articulation and some details here. We'll take a look at that in car mode, all of those details. That looks like it's the same plastic. The Blur has something like this, so I like the repetition of that. And the windshield is the same type of translucent material, so that makes sense now. They just use the same material again for that. But everything else looks great. It's the right pink, it's the right gray, it's nice blue eyes. And it's really too bad those wrists don't swivel, because there's a scene in the movie where she's firing and she's steadying her gun with her other hand. You can't turn her hand to grab onto the gun to steady it. So that is a really cool joint, but I wish it went the other way. Anyway, let's compare this one with the Takara Legends RC, which has been on my shelf for years now, on my 86 Transformers Autobots shelf. I went with this one because I did want something more cartoon accurate. They look just about the same height, if not exactly the same height. This one might just be a teeny tiny bit taller by way of head, but the backpacks line up pretty well. They both have backpacks, so then it just basically comes down to whose looks better. And I'm gonna lean towards the old one, the Legends one. It's huge too, but it just looks a little more compact. It looks a little better when she's in robot mode. I kind of like the glossy pink paint on the Legends one. I'm not sure about the North American Generations version, but Takara's version was this glossy, and I like that. See how the eyes have that glow in the light feature? Where if it's kind of tricky to do, but if the light just hits it just right, there you go. Get a little glimmers of shine, whereas this floppy thing is has the big bright blue eyes. I kind of like the proportions on the Takara one as well. Like the thighs look much bigger than on this one, but in terms of she transforms into a car and she's an Autobot warrior, I think it just works a little bit better. Although on the Earthrise one, it's really nice that the wheels aren't visible. And the feet on the Takara version are just way better too. Looks much better than the pink slippers that the Earthrise version has. It's close. It's very close. And if you don't have this one, or if you can't track it down, then I think this one will do just nicely. But the whole reason I picked this one up was it was only $10. And if it had been the full $30 Canadian, I wouldn't have picked it up at all. But on such a sale, I thought, hey, maybe it'll look better than this one. And if not, then there's always, I can use the vehicle mode on it. Put it in Ultra Magnus's car carrier in the meantime. I like that this one has up and down on the head too. Just a little bit more range. And the floppiness just takes a little bit of the fun of posing out of it. You can have all the articulation in the world, but if you can't hold yourself up, then that's where it starts to go from being fun to frustrating. And before I transform her into car mode, I did pick up this RoboCop at a convention some years back who didn't have an Auto 9, and I'm just curious if, no, it's, well, you can hold it that way. The handle is just too wide the other way. I guess you could try to stretch the hand out a little bit. It barely works, but here you go. An adequate Auto 9 replacement for your Kenner RoboCop figure. So that's RC if you want to keep her all complete and put together. But there is an extra option here where you can actually remove the backpack. Just pull it off, pull it down. There is like a release right here. You have to push this in, and by pushing that in, it'll release, and you can just pull that right out. So now you can use this car part as a stand. There's foot pegs right here. That's really handy, since this particular figure doesn't stand too well. You can take the holes on her feet and just attach it to this thing and have her stand there with one foot up. Makes her a little bit more stable. I have a feeling that a lot of Transformers fans are going to look at that and go, that's kind of cool, but it's also not screen accurate. Screen accurate is really nice, and it's just kind of a double-edged sword, making a Transformer that looks so screen accurate, and then you have to do that. You have to take a whole piece off and I guess put it into subspace so that you can have your Transformer looking like it's supposed to look, and then do a comparison with the Takara one. Now that we've taken off the extra part of the backpack, now this one obviously is bigger, but it's still not so big that it bothers me. And what I really like about the Legends version is it's all in there. You don't have to take it off and put it off to the side or store it in subspace. Whereas this one now kind of looks almost too small, taking that giant chunk off of it. I like being able to see the windshield and some car parts on there. Now this to me looks too obvious that something is missing. There's actually like an entire official transformation of the stand. I'm pulling some side parts out. How does this work? This goes up like that. These things come out. These wheels are supposed to come right. There we go. It's on one of those Unicron hinges where push it until you feel like you're going to break it, and then it doesn't break. So this is how you do the stand mode, I guess. There's these things pop out. One of those flip out too. I don't know. I mean, what's this looking like? Is this supposed to flip in? I guess that flips in like that. It really doesn't matter to me what this stand transforms into. It doesn't matter if it's that or that, or who really cares. I would never use this as a stand. I would just actually keep it as big as it is. I would just stick that back on and keep it on or back in back mode, so that I don't set this aside and then lose it when I'm looking for it. But we're going to transform her into car mode right now. I guess we'll start with the backpack. Pop these back into place. Feed those on there. I'm getting a little bit of bent plastic when you do that. So don't do that. Don't transform this into stand mode, because you get a little bit of plastic rubbing on itself and pinching on there. I think that's all we need to do for this back part right here. Looks like the wheels are the same type of translucent plastic. You're going to want to reattach this backpack onto her as part of the transformation. So feed that back into there like that. And do we need to press this in, or I'm not sure how. Yeah, I think you need to press this to feed that back in and have it catch. So there's backpack mode, but we'll pull that out, and yeah, it rotates like that. You can start to see the car mode already. A couple of things need to be twisted 180. First of all, you put the feet up like this, and then you twist at the thigh. There is a thigh swivel. Go figure, that's another one of the tightest joints on this toy. The joints that don't really need to be tight are really tight. And the ones that should have been tight, the knees and the ankles, are not. Twist those around, twist the head around. A little bit of Exorcist action right there. Let's put the gun aside and see if there should be a place to store it in vehicle mode. Usually these side pegs, that's what that means. And bring the car up after you've moved these side panels up like that. You bring the front of the car up over the head. This front grille part goes up and clicks easily enough. And there's really not much to it. This is basically a robot hiding in a kit. It's like a kit car in the shell of a car. These panels want to release and plug this in like that. That's nice. And one really important part that you need to do in order to make everything fit in there is, you see this post right here with a little metal piece on the end, and she's got a hole in her back. That needs to plug in there. That's a really tough one. You have to basically put your finger here and push this way while you're pulling the rest of the body down to get that to go in there and click. There, now that that's in there that tight, you can get the car to... I feel like I'm taking way too much time on this transformation. Anyway, the arms are fitting a lot better in there now, and just need to try to twist these scary joints, feed those in there like that. Let's see if we have any more luck with the legs. Oh, that's much better. Okay, yeah, so the secret is you just got to press that post into the back all the way, and then you get tons of room there. Get some clicking there. Haven't even checked the instructions, but similar to the Takara one, there is a little post there, so I'm assuming, does it go like that? I'll have to double check that. I figured that this little thing right here would plug into something, but that's... I guess that works. It's loose, but it sort of works. I can't believe that's how it's supposed to go, because that's very visible under there. It would have been a lot more hidden if it was just plugged in all of this empty space here. And here's Earthrise RC finally in vehicle mode. And you know, I'm not digging it at all. Here's the Takara Legends RC, which, I mean, they both kind of have the same issue with parts that don't really want to pop into place, and if they do, they just pop right out unless you have it completely aligned properly. But I just like how this one looks better. Each one has some elements of the G1 cartoon vehicle design that the other one doesn't have, but all in all, I just like this one better. It seems more like a futuristic car. Little seat detail on there seems a little cooler. I like the clear windshield on it. The visible wheels. This one, I don't know, the wheels aren't as visible, and the cloudy windshield on it, like the filled in sides on it. About the same weight, but this one just kind of feels like the matte finish on it doesn't feel as nice as this one. Feels like a nicer plastic on this one. Earthrise RC, $10. That sounds about right to me, honestly. I wouldn't pay much more than that for this one, to be quite honest. The robot mode was kind of a disappointment, and the vehicle mode, honestly, is even more of a disappointment. I don't know if I would even really use this alongside some other... Got things popping out too. I don't know if I'd use this alongside some of the other G1 movie era Transformers. It doesn't really look like RC to me. I wish this was more opened up so that you could see the wheels. I don't know if that would help, but I think if you're looking for a good RC, get your hands on that Generations one if you can, or if you're not looking for a G1 scale, look for a Masterpiece scale, or even the new deluxe one. I haven't gotten one of those yet, but I'd be interested to take a look at one of those, because this one is really not one of the best RC versions that they've made. Transformation sequence that is, in all honesty, more frustrating than Unicron. I can't believe I'm actually saying that about such a small transformer, but Unicron wasn't really all that frustrating. And joints that are way too loose in some parts and way too tight in others just make for a weird combination. They've done better at this price point, so it's always disappointing when a brand new thing comes out, and I mean, it's all subjective, right? It's just my opinion, but it's just not as good as the one that came out before it. So yeah, I'd say if you can get it on a crazy sale, then don't really regret dropping $10 on it. But out of the box, not quite as nice as in the box, so maybe back in the box she goes. Hope you enjoyed this review. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments spot. And to join the tribe, hit subscribe. Nerdmastay.